Ever wish you could, learn new words faster and actually remember them?
Oh, definitely. Especially for things like, well, big tests, SAT, GRE, all
Right,
those.
or even just to understand what you're reading better or sound a bit sharper when you talk.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. We're looking past just like memorizing lists.
Yeah, moving beyond rote learning.
We found this really interesting system. It's about making new words stick by working with your brain, not against it, making it kind of fun, actually.
Okay, so we're looking at a system from a video by someone called Mr. Gouda.
That's the one. He lays out this three-part system. And the core idea is using images and connections, stuff our minds do naturally anyway.
Makes sense.
Right.
So our mission for you, listening in.
Simple, really. We want to break down this system so you can walk away and, well, immediately start using it. Make learning vocabulary, easier and maybe even more enjoyable.
All right, let's get into it. What's the main idea behind this, the sort of cornerstone principle?
Well, the big idea, as Mr. Gouda puts it, is tapping into how our brains are wired. We naturally think in pictures, right? Imagination.
Uh-huh.
And we constantly try to link new stuff to things we already know. This system just leverages those two things, images and connections. It helps the words, settle in.
So instead of just brute force memorization, we're using the brain's own toolkit. I like that. So tell us about the three parts. What are the steps?
It's actually pretty straightforward. Step one, make a mental image for the new word itself.
Okay, image for the word.
Step two, make an image for what the word means, its definition.
Image for the definition. Got it.
And step three, this is maybe the most important bit, connect those two images. Link them together in a really imaginative, memorable way.
Image for word, image for meaning, connect them imaginatively. Okay. Now, the source stressed that these images shouldn't be, boring. Why is that?
Yeah, exactly. If the image is just plain, everyday stuff, it kind of fades, right?
Mm.
So Mr. Gouda says make them outrageous or funny or shocking. The weirder or more emotional the image, the more it stands out. It just makes it easier to recall later. It's like the von Riestorff effect, I think it's called, makes unusual things stick.
Outrageous, funny, shocking. Okay. So how do we actually make these images? He gave three techniques, right? Let's start with the first one, using the words sound.
Right. So this is where you break the word down, listen to the sounds, and see what familiar things it reminds you of. Take the word abhor, means to really hate something, to loathe it.
Ah, yes. He said a bore sounds a bit like a bore, or maybe a bore.
Exactly.
So the image was like hating this super boring coworker who acts like a wild boar.
Yes, that's the one. And the sentence was something like, I abhor my new coworker because he's arrogant, rude. You get the picture. That feeling of disgust helps lock it in.
Definitely memorable. So the sound is the hook. What about brusque? That means abrupt, right?
Yeah, blunt. So brusque might sound like Bruce or brewski, maybe even bruise.
Which led to that image of a guy named Bruce. Maybe after a few too many brewskis, getting a bruise and being really abrupt, really brusque with someone.
Right. The sentence was, yes, my friend can be very brusque sometimes, especially when he's been drinking. It's a bit silly, but it connects sound, image, and meaning.
Okay. Another one was falter, to hesitate.
Yeah, stumble or hesitate. That could sound like fall-tar or maybe full-tar.
Ooh, vivid. Like you hesitate because you might trip and fall into hot tar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Creates a strong sense of consequence. The sentence, if you don't know where you're going, you may falter, makes the hesitation feel real.
And the last sounds like example was zeal, enthusiasm.
Right. Sounds like seal. So you picture maybe a really enthusiastic SEAL juggling a ball or like a Navy SEAL, super dedicated.
Got it. The sentence was, the military man's zeal and energy is what enabled him to be victorious. The sound similarity just grabs your attention.
So that's the first technique, playing with the sound. The second one focuses on how the word looks.
Right. Finding smaller words or letter patterns inside the new word, like superfluous, means unnecessary.
Yeah, and you can easily see super and floss in there.
So the image is a superhero, maybe Superman, whose teeth are so strong he doesn't need floss. Floss is unnecessary, superfluous for him.
Perfect. And it's much better than like trying to connect it to superfluous or something weird like that. You find the link that works best.
That superhero image works. Okay, what about calamity? Disaster.
You can spot calamity in there.
A mighty clam causing a disaster. It's absurd, but that's why it works, right?
Totally. The sentence was, the city suffered calamity after the huge storm hit. But you're probably picturing that giant clam.
Definitely. Then there was austere, meaning severe or strict.
Breaks down into Australian and tear.
So the image of a really tough Aussie maybe shedding a single tear because of some severe new
Gives
rules.
a bit of emotional punch, makes it
Easy.
stick. And the last one for this technique, diligent, careful, hardworking.
Oh, I like this one. Diligent.
Yeah. A gentleman working carefully in a delicatessen.
Making your sandwich with real care and perseverance. The sentence, just look at how diligent that man is. It paints such a clear picture.
So that's using the visual parts of the word. But what if, neither the sound nor the look really gives you a strong image?
That's where the third technique comes in. Rhymes.
Right. Rhyming is already a great memory tool. Think about song lyrics, nursery rhymes.
Exactly. So for a word like conducive, meaning helpful or likely to lead to something.
It might be hard to get a direct sound or visual image for that one, but it rhymes with not elusive or abusive.
And the example sentence was perfect. The use of rhyme is highly conducive to learning new vocabulary words. Kind of meta.
It is. The rhyme itself helps lock in the meaning. Another one, precocious, advanced for one's age,
That rhymed with supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
which immediately makes you think of, being smart or advanced, especially for a kid.
Like the 5-year-old playing with the symphony in the example sentence. Truly precocious. The rhyme makes it playful.
And the last rhyme example, surreptitious, secret, sneaky.
This one rhymed with, lots of syrup on my waffles is certainly delicious.
But with my mother watching me, I must be surreptitious.
Right. Sneaking the syrup. That really nails the feeling of doing something secretly. The sentence example was about a secret recording.
So those are the three main ways to generate that first image for the word: sound, sight, or rhyme.
Okay, but what about step 2? The image for the definition. It feels like in the examples that was kind of mixed in with step 3, the connection part.
You're right, it often is. The image for the definition is often part of the connecting scene. For abhor, the gross bore was the definition embodied. For brusque, Bruce's rude behavior was the meaning in action.
So it's not always a separate, distinct image.
Not necessarily. The key is just making sure the meaning is clearly represented in that final combined image or mini-story you create. If the definition is abstract, maybe you picture a synonym that's easier to visualize, or you imagine a little scenario that shows the meaning.
Got it. So it's about creating this little mental movie where the word image and the definition image interact somehow. They have to be linked actively.
Precisely. That active imaginative connection is the real powerhouse. That's what makes it stick. Make them interact, make it vivid, maybe funny, maybe shocking, like we said. That makes the memory trace stronger.
Okay, makes sense. Now, the source mentioned a pop quiz after showing these examples. What was the point of that?
Well, the quiz was just a quick check to show how, even after just seeing these examples once, the technique helps you recall the words surprisingly well.
Kind of immediate feedback.
Yeah. It reinforces that the method works for quick learning. And the message was positive, like, even if you didn't get them all, look how many you did get just from that quick run-through. Shows the potential.
But we don't just want potential, we want long-term recall, right? This isn't just about passing a quiz 5 minutes later.
Absolutely. And for that, the recommendation is, well, pretty standard but effective.
Yeah, flashcards.
Flashcards. Yeah, but using them with this image system and reviewing them using spaced repetition. Review them less frequently as you get better at them. That really cements the connections over time.
So the images get you the initial hook, and spaced repetition locks it in.
Okay.
And circling back, the overall benefits he mentioned, it wasn't just test scores.
No, not at all. It's about, deeper understanding when you read, being able to express yourself more clearly, more precisely.
Yeah.
And, maybe sounding a bit smarter, or, as he put it, becoming smarter faster overall.
A richer vocabulary just opens things up.
It really does. Better comprehension, better communication, big advantages.
All right, so let's try and boil this down. What are the absolute key takeaways for everyone listening?
Okay, the core is that 3-step process. 1, create a vivid image for the word itself. Use sound, sight, or rhyme to help.
Step 1, word image.
2, create an image representing the definition. Make sure the meaning is clear in your picture.
Step 2, definition image.
And 3, connect those two images. Make them interact in your mind in a memorable, imaginative, maybe even weird way. That's the crucial link.
Word image, definition image, connect them imaginatively. Got it. So for you listening, why not try it? Pick a word you learned recently or one you just looked up.
Yeah, give it a shot right now. Can you make a sound connection? A visual one? A rhyme? Then link it to the meaning. See how it feels.
It does make you wonder, though.
What was that?
Well, if using imagination and connections works so well for vocabulary, could we apply the same kind of thinking to other things we're trying to learn?
That's a great question. Like, could intentionally visualizing concepts in science or connecting historical events through imaginative stories unlock better understanding elsewhere, too?
Beyond just words, it feels like it might tap into something fundamental about how we learn best. Definitely something to think about.
Absolutely. It shows the power of not just passively receiving information, but actively engaging with it, using our mind's own strength.
Well, this has been really insightful. A practical system grounded in how we actually think. Maybe we'll explore more learning hacks in a future deep dive if people are interested.
Could be fun. Until then, keep building those mental pictures.
And keep connecting them. Thanks for tuning in.